In a world obsessed with perfection, where social media relentlessly sets impossible beauty standards, one young girl fights daily battles not just with external critics, but with the internal wounds caused by bullying, self-doubt, and the cruel realities of colorism and body shaming. This is the untold story of Kandi Burruss, a story of resilience, unwavering love, and the courageous journey to recognize your true worth beyond the noise of judgment. Kandi Burruss's story, on the other hand, is a powerful testament to grit, talent, and relentless determination. Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, Kandi's early life was far from perfect, yet it was rich with lessons that shaped the woman she would become. From a tender age, Kandi found solace and strength in music and songwriting, a passion that served as both her escape and her voice in a world eager to silence her. Growing up in a challenging environment, Kandi faced the same social pressures, limited opportunities, and barriers that many young girls in her neighborhood battle daily. But there was something undeniably different about her. Even as a teenager, she exhibited a maturity and creative spark that set her apart. Kandi didn't just dream of singing, she aspired to write, create, and own her narrative. While many saw obstacles, she saw stepping stones toward greatness. She understood early on that talent alone would never be enough. She had to work harder, be smarter, and remain authentic to herself. Her breakthrough came when she joined the legendary girl group Xscape in the 1990s. The group's silky harmonies and heartfelt lyrics resonated with fans nationwide, and Kandi's songwriting added a profound depth to their music. Yet, behind the scenes, the music industry was unforgiving. Kandi encountered sexism, exploitation, and relentless pressure to conform to a mold that threatened her artistic integrity. She learned to navigate these harsh realities, fiercely protecting her craft and her true self. One of Kandi's most iconic moments was penning No Scrubs for TLC, a song that not only topped charts but became a rallying anthem for millions of women worldwide. This wasn't merely a hit, it was a cultural statement. Kandi stepped out from behind the scenes, proving she was more than a singer or songwriter. She was a storyteller and a voice for those who too often went unheard. Over the years, Kandi's career evolved as she embraced new challenges, from acting and producing to becoming a beloved star on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yet, through every twist and turn, she remained a devoted mother first and foremost. Her daughter Riley became the heart of her universe, her greatest source of joy, inspiration, and strength. Kandi's ascent was never about the spotlight. It was about shattering barriers, fiercely fighting for her dreams, and building a legacy her family could proudly carry forward. She showed the world that success isn't handed down, it is earned through sweat, tears, and unshakable faith in oneself. Behind every glamorous photo and confident smile lies a woman who truly understands struggle, failure, and the resilience required to rise again. Kandi Burruss's story is a shining example of perseverance, a reminder that no matter where you come from or what battles you face, your voice matters. And that, ultimately, is where her greatest power resides. Her journey through the entertainment industry reads like a saga of hard-earned victories and relentless perseverance. By the time she had established herself as one of Atlanta's most influential voices, Kandi had endured storms and setbacks that many never witnessed. Her career was never just about fame, it was a battlefield of trials, betrayals, and breakthroughs that shaped the formidable woman millions admire today. From the outside, Kandi Burruss's life looked nothing short of glamorous. Platinum records, a successful girl group, and chart-topping hits were all badges of honor that seemed to signal a path paved for superstardom. But behind the dazzling lights and red carpets, the reality was far more complicated. Music industry executives often dismissed Kandi as just another girl, talented, yes, but easily underestimated and boxed into limiting stereotypes. They wanted her to fit the mold of the perfect pop star, a pretty face, the girl next door image, someone who didn't challenge the status quo. But Kandi resisted. Deep down, she knew her worth wasn't skin deep. Her true power lived in her voice, her lyrics, and her sharp, uncompromising business acumen. One of the earliest and toughest lessons Kandi learned was that success in the music world wasn't just about talent, it was a political battleground. When Xscape's popularity skyrocketed, Kandi watched as some of her key contributions were minimized or even uncredited. The industry's competitive nature meant she wasn't just fighting critics outside, it was also an internal struggle against power dynamics and gatekeepers. But Kandi's spirit never broke. Instead, she transformed setbacks into fuel, penning songs that captured raw truths, anthems that resonated deeply with women across the nation. Her breakthrough as a songwriter came with powerful hits like No Scrubs, a song that transcended charts to become a cultural anthem of independence and self-respect. Released in 1999, No Scrubs wasn't just catchy, It boldly challenged the idea that women should settle for less in relationships. Suddenly, Kandi's name was on everyone's lips, but with fame came a new wave of challenges, scrutiny, jealousy, and even threats from those threatened by her rise. Yet Kandi's ambition didn't stop at singing and songwriting. She recognized early that her identity was multifaceted. She craved control, the ability to create, produce, and own her art fully. This realization propelled her into the complex business side of entertainment, where negotiating contracts, managing royalties, and building a brand tested her resilience in ways performing never could. Around this pivotal time, Kandi made another bold leap, joining the world of reality TV with The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Critics doubted if a serious artist could find a place on a show known for drama and glamour, but Kandi saw an opportunity to reveal her authentic self. The cameras captured more than a star. They showed a mother, wife, and woman juggling multiple roles with grace. Her genuine nature won hearts and drew a new generation of fans, proving that realness resonates deeper than any scripted moment. Reality TV, however, brought its own pressures, constant public scrutiny, swirling rumors, and the delicate balance of sharing enough to connect but withholding enough to protect privacy. Through every twist, Kandi's anchor remained her family, especially her daughter Riley. Motherhood wasn't just a role, it was central to her identity. Kandi was determined that Riley would grow up strong, confident, and secure in her worth, far beyond the harsh judgments of public opinion or appearance. Her entrepreneurial spirit blossomed alongside her entertainment career. From launching fashion lines to beauty products, Kandi's ventures were about more than profit. They were about empowerment, creating opportunities, and building a legacy. She frequently spoke on financial independence, especially for women of color, inspiring fans to take control of their futures and rewrite their stories. But despite all her success, Kandi hasn't shied away from acknowledging the scars of her journey, struggles with trust, heartbreak, and the relentless pressure to appear perfect. She openly shares how the entertainment industry can be unforgiving, ready to chew people up and spit them out if they aren't vigilant. Yet, she also highlights themes of growth, forgiveness, and the transformative power of self-love. One of the most powerful chapters in Kandi's story came when she decided to reclaim her narrative on her own terms. Instead of allowing gossip or negativity to define her, she chose to tell her story, raw, unfiltered, and unapologetically real. Through candid interviews, social media, and her own platforms, Kandi emerged as a beacon of honesty, showing the world that true strength is born from vulnerability and owning your truth. Her relationship with Riley deepened profoundly during these years. Kandi witnessed firsthand how the world could be especially cruel to young girls growing up in the glaring spotlight of fame. Determined to shield Riley from the harsh realities of public judgment and negativity, Kandi made it her mission not only to protect her daughter but to empower her. She taught Riley how to stand tall in the face of adversity, how to find strength in her identity, and how to let love be the armor against life's toughest storms. Their mother-daughter bond became a sanctuary, a wellspring of healing, hope, and unwavering support amid the chaos. In many ways, Kandi's story transcends typical success narratives. It's a powerful testament to resilience, the kind forged through confronting fears, breaking harmful cycles, and refusing to accept anything less than what you truly deserve. From her humble beginnings in Atlanta to becoming a household name recognized worldwide, Kandi Burruss's journey reminds us all that true power isn't something handed to you. It's earned through courage, conviction, and an unbreakable spirit. Kandi Burruss's path through the entertainment industry stands as a masterclass in perseverance and self-empowerment. While many know her as a Grammy-winning singer-songwriter and a reality TV star, behind the polished image lies a woman who has weathered challenges that would have derailed most others. Her career is a rich tapestry, woven with moments of brilliance, heartbreak, fierce battles, and profound personal growth, a genuine reflection of her relentless determination. Before the world hailed Kandi as a songwriting genius, she was a young woman navigating the complex and often unforgiving corridors of the music business. The Atlanta music scene in the late 1980s and early 1990s was booming but fiercely competitive, especially for young black women striving to break through. Kandi's initial taste of fame came as a member of the R&B group Xscape, whose smooth harmonies and relatable lyrics captured hearts far and wide. Yet, even amid the group's rising success, Kandi faced the harsh reality of being undervalued. Her songwriting contributions, which would eventually become her greatest strength, were frequently overlooked or undercredited, a common and frustrating issue for women working behind the scenes. Despite these setbacks, Kandi refused to let her light dim. She threw herself wholeheartedly into songwriting, sharpening her craft with relentless dedication and passion. It was in the quiet of the writing room that Kandi truly blossomed, crafting lyrics that spoke to love, heartbreak, empowerment, and resilience. This behind-the-scenes work soon established her as one of the most gifted and sought-after songwriters of her generation. Her breakthrough moment came with the iconic track No Scrubs, recorded by the legendary group TLC. Released in 1999, the song quickly became an anthem for women everywhere, a bold declaration against settling for disrespect or mediocrity in relationships. With its catchy beat and unapologetically confident lyrics, No Scrubs wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural phenomenon. The song topped charts, won prestigious awards, and solidified Kandi's reputation as a songwriting powerhouse. However, success brought its own unique pressures. Fame came with intense expectations, from both the industry and the public. Kandi found herself in a world where being a woman of color often meant fighting against deeply ingrained stereotypes and narrow roles. She wasn't merely creating music, she was challenging and expanding the industry's limited definitions of what a black female artist could be. Understanding early on that talent and fame alone wouldn't secure her future, Kandi made a deliberate choice to focus on ownership of her music, her brand, and ultimately, her destiny. She immersed herself in learning the intricacies of the business side of entertainment, contracts, royalties, and negotiations. This knowledge gave her crucial leverage, transforming her from just a performer into a savvy entrepreneur who could protect her work and carve her own path. Kandi's journey into entrepreneurship marked a defining chapter in her life. She wasn't content to be known solely as a singer or reality TV personality, she wanted to build lasting empires. Launching ventures like her fashion line, Kandi Coated Nights, and her beauty brand, Kandi Coated Cosmetics, she expanded her influence far beyond the stage. These businesses were more than side projects, they were strategic moves, crafted with the vision to create generational wealth and empower other women to take control of their financial futures. Her success as a businesswoman wasn't accidental or overnight. It was the result of years of hard work, education, setbacks, and an unshakable belief that women, especially black women, deserve the power to own their stories and their finances. Kandi's rise has become an inspiring blueprint for countless aspiring entrepreneurs, proving that with vision, resilience, and education, it's possible to break cycles and build lasting legacies. Joining the Real Housewives of Atlanta represented a major turning point in Kandi's career. Reality TV shone a new kind of spotlight, one less about polished performances and more about real, everyday life. For Kandi, this presented both challenges and opportunities. The cameras captured her not just as a celebrity but as a mother, wife, friend, and businesswoman juggling multiple roles with grace and grit. Unlike many reality stars who leaned into manufactured drama, Kandi stood out for her authenticity. Audiences saw her joy, her struggles, and moments of vulnerability. Whether celebrating milestones or confronting personal challenges, Kandi's genuine spirit resonated deeply with viewers. She became a role model, proving that success doesn't require perfection, only honesty, heart, and the courage to be real. However, reality TV was far from easy. The relentless public scrutiny, swirling rumors, and emotional toll of exposing private moments made balancing personal and public life an ongoing challenge. Kandi openly discussed the pressure to maintain appearances while fiercely protecting her family's privacy. Despite these difficulties, she used the platform as a megaphone, amplifying her voice on vital issues like mental health, entrepreneurship, and motherhood, inspiring fans to embrace strength in vulnerability. No story about Kandi Burruss is complete without shining a light on her most cherished role, that of a mother, especially to her daughter, Riley Burruss. Riley is far more than just Kandi's child. She is her inspiration, her motivation, and the heartbeat of her life. Kandi has often shared that motherhood transformed her, making her more empathetic, patient, and fiercely determined to be a positive force in Riley's world. Raising Riley under the intense glare of the public eye brought unique challenges. Kandi was deeply aware of the harsh realities facing young black girls today, from bullying and body shaming to colorism, all magnified by social media's unforgiving spotlight. She made it her mission to shield Riley from negativity, while simultaneously equipping her with the confidence and resilience needed to thrive in a complicated world. The mother-daughter bond stands at the very core of Kandi's story. Through moments of joy and heartbreak, laughter and tears, Kandi has been Riley's unwavering support system. Whether navigating school hurdles, public scrutiny, or the everyday complexities of growing up, Kandi's love remains steadfast. She constantly encourages Riley to celebrate her natural beauty, intelligence, and kindness, instilling the vital lesson that true worth comes from within, not from external approval. Despite her many triumphs, Kandi's journey has not been without pain. She's been candid about the struggles she's faced, from heartbreak and trust issues to the pressures and invasions of fame. In interviews and on social media, she has revealed her vulnerable moments, showing fans that even stars have their lows. What sets Kandi apart is her remarkable ability to transform pain into power. Instead of hiding her struggles or pretending life was perfect, she confronted her challenges head-on. This raw honesty has endeared her to fans worldwide, proving that true strength is not the absence of failure, but the courage to rise after every fall. Her public battles, from handling reality TV drama to managing personal relationships under relentless scrutiny, have tested her resilience time and again. Yet, each trial has only made her stronger, providing valuable lessons in growth, forgiveness, and self-love. Perhaps one of the most inspiring chapters of Kandi Burruss's story is how she took control of her narrative. In an industry and society that often tries to define women, especially women of color, Kandi chose to be the author of her own story. She decided what to reveal, how to share it, and when, reclaiming her voice on her own terms. Through her social media, podcasts, and public appearances, Kandi has become a beacon of empowerment. She speaks openly about entrepreneurship, mental health, self-worth, and the irreplaceable value of family. Her message is clear and powerful. Your story belongs to you, and it holds immense power. This reclaiming of narrative is especially meaningful for her daughter Riley. Kandi models for her the courage to live authentically and fearlessly, encouraging her to embrace every part of herself, her skin tone, her body, her mind, and her spirit. Kandi Burruss's career is far more than a timeline of achievements. It is a profound journey marked by courage, resilience, and transformation. From her humble beginnings in Atlanta to global recognition, Kandi has navigated the tumultuous world of fame with grace, grit, and an unbreakable spirit. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that success is not just about talent or accolades, it's about how you face adversity, the strength to persevere when the world doubts you, the wisdom gained from failure, and the love that lifts others as you rise. As Kandi continues to evolve, as an artist, entrepreneur, reality star, and mother, her legacy only grows richer. She inspires not just through her accomplishments but through her unwavering authenticity and heartfelt resilience. Kandi Burruss stands as living proof that with determination and self-belief, you can transform dreams into reality, pain into purpose, and struggles into undeniable strength. Riley Burruss's life, while often seeming glamorous from the outside, has not been without its own hardships. Growing up as the daughter of a public figure like Kandi, Riley has always been surrounded by attention and love. Yet beneath that surface, she has faced the quiet battles many young girls endure: bullying, self-esteem struggles, and the painful sting of colorism. Being a young black girl with darker skin and a fuller figure placed Riley directly in the path of harsh criticism and unfair judgment. Whether from classmates or strangers online, cruel words about her skin tone and weight pierced deeper than most could see. Those comments stirred an internal storm in a heart yearning simply to be accepted and loved for who she truly is. These moments of bullying brought deep feelings of isolation for Riley. It's a heavy burden to carry the message that you don't fit society's narrow standards of beauty, especially when lighter skin and thinner bodies are so often celebrated. Doubts crept in, wondering if she'd ever be enough, if she could ever truly belong. The sting of whispered judgments and exclusion was painful, but perhaps even more difficult was the feeling that these struggles couldn't be openly shared. Riley didn't want to burden her mother or those who loved her. But Riley was fortunate to have Kandi, a mother who intimately understands the pain of being unfairly judged because of skin tone and appearance. Kandi knew firsthand the emotional weight of colorism. She understood how those subtle, toxic messages can infiltrate your mind, making you question your worth every single day. Rather than letting Riley face these battles alone, Kandi became her shield and her loudest advocate. Time and again, she reminded Riley of her beauty and power, just as she is. She taught her that true beauty transcends skin color and body shape. It shines through in the heart, the courage, and the brilliance of the mind. Their conversations weren't just words, they were lifelines. Every day, Kandi made sure Riley heard affirmations that would help build her confidence and sense of self-worth. She showed her pictures of strong, successful women who looked like her, women who embraced their heritage and celebrated their unique beauty. Through these daily reminders, Riley slowly began to internalize the message: the cruelty of others did not define her. It was a gradual process, sometimes painful, sometimes hopeful, but through every step, the bond between mother and daughter grew stronger and deeper. There were difficult days, of course, nights when the weight of the world felt overwhelming for Riley, moments when she questioned why she had to endure such harsh treatment. Yet, with Kandi's steadfast support, Riley learned to find strength within herself. She discovered passions that gave her joy and a sense of purpose, whether in music, fashion, or simply spending time with friends who lifted her up instead of tearing her down. These moments of happiness became small but powerful victories against the negativity that tried to consume her. What's truly inspiring is how Riley chose not to stay silent. Instead of hiding her struggles, she embraced her voice, sharing her story openly and becoming an advocate for self-love and acceptance. By speaking out about bullying and colorism, Riley offers hope and solidarity to other young girls who feel isolated, showing them they too can rise above the hurt and celebrate their true selves. Her voice carries immense power precisely because it's real. She embodies the truth that your worth is never determined by anyone else. The relationship between Kandi and Riley is a beautiful example of how love and understanding can heal wounds and nurture confidence. Kandi's dedication to nurturing Riley's spirit shines through in every word of encouragement, every protective gesture, and every moment of genuine connection. She teaches Riley that it's okay to have hard days. What matters is to keep moving forward and to always believe in oneself. Looking at Riley today, her story shines as one of hope and resilience. She is not merely a victim of bullying or colorism. She is a young woman rising above these challenges, growing stronger and shining brighter every day. With her mother's unwavering love and her own courage, Riley is transforming pain into purpose, inspiring countless others along the way. As Riley grew older, her challenges didn't simply vanish. Teenage years are complicated for everyone, and for her, living under the intense scrutiny of the public eye added another layer of complexity. It wasn't just about school or friendships, it was about carving out an identity when the world seemed determined to place her in a box based on her appearance. The pressure to conform to unrealistic ideals weighed heavily, but what kept her grounded was the strong foundation her mother had laid. Kandi never sugarcoated the truth. She told Riley that life would test her, sometimes harshly, but those tests were also opportunities to grow stronger. She shared stories from her own journey, times she felt overlooked, moments when the industry tried to diminish her worth, and the battles she fought to own her narrative. These stories weren't mere anecdotes, they were lessons wrapped in love, showing Riley that resilience is not about never falling but about always rising again. Slowly, Riley began to embrace that mindset. She started seeing her reflection not through the eyes of critics or bullies, but through the eyes of her mother, and most importantly, through her own. Every morning, she looked in the mirror and reminded herself that she was enough, skin, body, and all. It wasn't always easy. Sometimes the old doubts would sneak back in, fueled by a world that still struggled to accept diversity. But the difference now was that Riley had tools to fight back, self-love, a strong support system, and a voice that refused to be silenced. School remained a challenge, but Riley learned to surround herself with friends who celebrated her uniqueness rather than tearing her down. These friendships became lifelines, safe spaces where she could be vulnerable, laugh freely, and grow without fear of judgment. Being around people who lifted her up helped Riley rebuild her confidence, brick by brick. She also found refuge in creative outlets, music, fashion, and writing, places where she could express herself fully and unapologetically. These passions gave her a sense of purpose and joy, a reminder of the beautiful complexity of her identity. Kandi watched all of this with a mixture of pride and protectiveness. She understood that Riley's path was her own, but she was always there, a constant presence, ready to catch her if she fell. Their bond deepened as Riley opened up more, sharing her thoughts, dreams, and fears. They talked openly about mental health, the importance of seeking help when overwhelmed, and the power of vulnerability. Kandi encouraged Riley to be brave, not just for herself but for other young girls who might be facing the same struggles in silence. One of the most powerful moments in their journey came when Riley chose to share her experiences publicly. Through social media, she began speaking candidly about bullying, colorism, and the path towards self-acceptance. The response was overwhelming. Thousands of young people connected with her honesty, finding comfort and inspiration in her words. Riley's bravery transformed her from someone silenced by pain into a powerful voice for many. Through this process, Riley discovered that vulnerability is strength, not weakness. She learned that sharing your story can break chains of shame, isolation, and fear. This revelation fueled her desire not just to survive but to lead, helping to change the narrative for the next generation. Meanwhile, Kandi continued to balance her demanding career with motherhood. She remained fiercely protective of Riley's privacy while encouraging her to embrace the spotlight on her own terms. Kandi's own evolution, as an artist, entrepreneur, and public figure, mirrored Riley's growth. Both were learning to navigate a world that often misunderstood them, refusing to let that define their worth. Together, They are rewriting what it means to be Black women in today's world, powerful, authentic, and unafraid to claim their stories. Their journey reminds us all that the battles we face can become bridges to our greatest strength, and that love, both for ourselves and from others, is the most potent force for healing and growth. As Riley continued to grow into her own person, the lessons she learned from her mother began to shine brighter in her everyday life. The pain of the past, the bullying, the harsh judgments about her skin tone and body didn't vanish completely, but Riley started to see those struggles as chapters in her story, not the entire book. Every day became a new chance to redefine herself and how she wanted the world to see her. One thing became clear: Riley's growing desire to use her experiences to help others. She realized that so many young girls felt alone in their struggles, just as she had. That realization lit a fire in her heart. More than anything, she wanted to be a beacon of hope, proof that it's possible to rise above negativity and embrace your true self. She began speaking openly about mental health, the dangers of comparison on social media, and the importance of kindness, both to yourself and others. Kandi watched her daughter blossom with pride and awe. She saw Riley stepping fully into her power, becoming not just her daughter but her own person, confident, thoughtful, and strong. Kandi had always known Riley was special, but now the world was beginning to see it too. Together, the mother-daughter duo became a powerful example of resilience and love, inspiring others by showing that even when life feels overwhelming, you can find your way through. Riley's journey also brought the family closer together. They shared more moments, both big and small, that deepened their bond. Movie nights, heart-to-heart talks, shared music playlists, and laughter-filled days reminded them that while the world could be tough, their love was tougher. Kandi made sure Riley always knew she was never alone, no matter what challenges lay ahead. At the same time, Riley was discovering her own passions beyond the family spotlight. Whether it was her love for fashion or her growing interest in music and performance, she explored these parts of herself with curiosity and excitement. It wasn't always easy, sometimes fear of judgment crept in, but with Kandi's unwavering support, Riley learned to lean into those passions without hesitation. Their story wasn't perfect. There were setbacks and tears, moments of doubt and frustration, but through it all, Riley's spirit remained unbroken. The hurtful voices of the past grew quieter as her confidence grew louder. She found strength not only within herself but in the community she was building: friends, family, fans, and strangers who connected with her authenticity. In this stage of her life, Riley's message became clearer: beauty is not a one-size-fits-all standard. It's messy, unique, and deeply personal. It's about owning your story, scars and all, and choosing to love yourself fiercely. That message resonated far beyond social media and interviews. It blossomed into a movement, one small step at a time. Kandi and Riley understood that their journey wasn't just about overcoming obstacles, it was about creating a legacy. A legacy where future generations of young girls wouldn't have to fight the same battles with colorism or bullying alone. They dreamed of a world where every child could wake up feeling proud of who they are, regardless of skin tone, size, or background. Together, they stood strong, a testament to the power of love, resilience, and hope. And as Riley looked toward the future, she knew her story was only just beginning. Stepping into young adulthood, Riley carried with her the lessons and love that had shaped her. The challenges she once faced, bullying, colorism, self-doubt, had become stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. Every harsh word and painful moment fueled a fire inside her, not only to succeed but to uplift others along the way. Kandi watched her daughter with pride swelling in her heart. She knew how much Riley had endured, how many battles she had fought quietly, and how far she had come. More than fame or fortune, what mattered most was seeing Riley stand tall, head held high, proud of the beautiful young woman she was becoming. Their bond, forged in love and perseverance, was unbreakable. Riley's journey became a beacon of hope, proof that the pain of yesterday doesn't have to define your tomorrow. She used her platform to amplify voices like hers, to challenge standards that once made her feel small, and to encourage young girls everywhere to love themselves fiercely and unapologetically. Together, mother and daughter embodied strength, resilience, and grace. They showed the world that beauty is not skin deep, that worth cannot be measured by others' opinions, and that true power comes from embracing your authentic self. As the sun set on this chapter of their story, it was clear that Kandi Burruss was more than a survivor. She was a trailblazer, a voice for the unheard, and a living testament to the transformative power of love. And through it all, Kandi stood beside her, not just as a mother, but as a champion of her daughter's light, shining brighter with every step forward. The future was theirs to create, full of promise, hope, and endless possibilities.